When I was 5 years old, I went into my grandma's room and she said, "Do you want to follow Jesus?" "Well, just pray with me." And so I did. And ever since then, my whole life, I was a Christian and I followed that and I did what people asked me to do. And I think like a lot of our stories, we just kind of grow into it with our family. And I've grown up my whole life with this identity, being a Christian and really being a pastor in many ways. I've been a pastor for almost 10 years, most of the time right here. And it's interesting the way that God kind of moves throughout your life. When I was in middle school, one of the main things that God was speaking to me during that time was that I would be in ministry, that I would be a pastor. And so ever since that moment, this has been a huge weight on my shoulders. It's been an identity for me, something that I walk in and something that I'm really focused on achieving. Becoming a worship pastor, becoming a speaking pastor, doing these different things, even at one point thinking I was going to be a youth pastor. I remember thinking when I was in middle school, there's nothing else that I would rather do but be in ministry and to be a pastor. And I followed that path. I had my mentors in my life that really helped shape the way that I live and the way that I grew up, the things that I did, the colleges that I went to, the classes that I took. And as I grew up, I saw the plan becoming more and more clear. During that middle school time, I was at this church. It was called something else, and it was before we did a merger with a different church, and it's a whole big story, and I'd love to tell you it sometime. But this church has been my home for a really long time. And there's only been about 2 years in my entire adult life that I haven't been here. And that was my first 2 years in ministry, where I actually got asked to lead a church that just so happened to be where my future wife attended. And even though we had known each other before that point, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I can't get into it right now. But, this was the opportunity that we had to date and to, get to know each other more and eventually to get married. And that's God moving for sure. And then 2 years after that position, staying at Vanessa's church, which became my church, which became our church. Then my home church, the one that I grew up at, this church, asked me to come back. They asked me to come not just to attend the church, but to serve on staff as a worship pastor. Something that, I never dreamed would happen. And yet it was. And they offered me the position and I took it, and it was amazing. And I've been here now on staff for 7 years. 7 years of me serving and loving. And for me, this was just the beginning. It's just the beginning of what I wanted to do because, I really felt like God wanted me in ministry forever. But in this video today, I wanted to share with you that that's not the case. I'm leaving the church, specifically this church. And that means a lot of things for me. I've been a pastor for almost 10 years of my life. That's my entire adult life. I've been a pastor. And for me, my identity is wrapped up in that. The things that I think about, the things that I study, the things that I do, much of it is wrapped up in that. The way that I see my calling from God is wrapped up in that. And all of that is changing now. And God's not surprised by this. He's not even worried about it in the slightest. And I love that I can have confidence in Him to walk through all of this that's happening. But part of me is still terrified. Part of me is still trying to figure out how I fit into this new thing that He's asking me to do. We're leaving this church because we're moving out of state. We're moving to a completely different state with no friends, no family, no safety nets. And it's because God has called us there. And no, it's not me getting a pastoral position somewhere else. For me, life is going to look completely different. I'm going to be a full-time YouTube content creator, making sure that the Snipe Life can thrive and grow and impact as many people as possible. I really feel like God has led me to ministry but it doesn't always look like this. It doesn't always look like being on staff at a church and making things the way that I want them here. Sometimes, and especially in 2022, and the way that things are moving and growing and media is changing, things are gonna look different. And for me, that's so exciting. Like, I was so excited, but at the same time, I'm terrified. My entire life, I've dealt with a fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. But I'm not gonna let that fear stop me here. And so as I walk through this journey, and as me and Vanessa both walk through this journey, it's gonna change a lot of things. Some really great, some really, really hard, but as we say on this channel all the time, following Jesus is better. It's not necessarily easier. And so I hope and I pray that you guys will walk alongside us on this journey. What does that mean for this channel? Well, it means that I'm gonna be able to put more time, a lot more time, into our videos, into what we talk about here, into building this community, which I'm so excited about. You know how much I love you guys, and I'm so excited to just keep on building that community and showing people what this could really be and who we could really become, how we can impact the world. But secondarily, it also means that I have no safety net. If YouTube decides to demonetize a video, that means I have no revenue for that video. It means that I don't have any income coming from my career. That's terrifying to me, that this could be in someone else's hands, that they would be controlling my fate for the thing that I really want to create and the different things that I really want to talk about. And I don't want that to be a limiting factor in how I create and what I share with you guys, because I want to share what God wants me to share. And if that offends YouTube, or if they don't like my stance on things, then that's how it is. So first, let me tell you what this means for this channel and what we're gonna do, what our plans are. And then I wanna talk about how you can help, how you can be a big part of the future of this channel. So first, that means that we're gonna be doing better and bigger videos. I'm gonna dedicate myself to doing 3 videos a week. That's 2 edited videos like this one and 1 live stream every single week. And I think we may switch those to another day, but we'll keep you updated. And it also means that I just have more time to dedicate to research, to understanding things that I want to talk to you guys about, and to spending time with you in the comments and in our Discord and in different community areas that we have. I would love to spend more time with you guys, to have more conversation and to really dive deep into your faith walk, what you're doing, what you have struggles with, and what I have struggles with, and to dive in with you guys and live that community life. This also means that I can focus my full effort onto doing different things that I could never do while I'm in full-time ministry, such as our Israel trip next year. There's a big video series that I'm planning out for that trip specifically, and I want you guys to be a part of it. I want you guys to have your questions answered and to walk alongside us as we do this amazing, amazing trip. And that's gonna be coming up in just about 5 months, so definitely hang on for that. Of course, we're gonna keep on covering The Chosen and all that has to do with that, but we're also gonna be covering more generalized biblical topics. And this is gonna be a huge jump for us because I'm so excited to talk about different things like addiction or hardships or, great things like spiritual gifts or the things that the Bible actually says. I think that so many people have this idea of what Christianity is, but they don't fully understand. And so for me and you, I want to dive deep into the truth, exactly what the scriptures say, exactly what God says, so that we can really truly know how we can be closest to him. And if you have any ideas, I would love to hear them in the comments below. This would be a huge help for me to understand where you're coming from and what you want to learn more about in the Christian world. But please be patient with us. It's going to take us a little bit of time to get moved in and all settled and set up the studio and all of that. But I promise you that you will at least have a couple of videos in the upcoming weeks, so just look out for those. So now, on to 2 major ways that you can really, really help us out on this channel and help us to move forward in the future. 1, watch our videos. This is a huge thing, obviously, on YouTube. The more views that we get, the more that YouTube recommends us. The more likes that we get, the more YouTube recommends us. The more subscribers we get, the more YouTube recommends us. And so this is a great way for you to help. That's very, very easy. If you could just hit the like button on this video and all of our videos in the future, that would be a massive, massive help. And if you could watch the videos, even the ones that aren't chosen themed, because I really want to break out and do some other stuff as well. And with your support, I can do that, because when you watch, it'll bring other people in that are interested in the same kind of content. And the second thing that you can do is to join our Patreon. This is an online community where you pay monthly to gain access to early content, extra content, and inside content into mine and Vanessa's lives as we talk about what's kind of going on. In fact, they knew about this announcement long before you guys did, because they got extra content. They kind of talked about it ahead of time. And so they're our inside circle, the people who support us absolutely the most. And I know that some of you aren't able to monetarily support us, and that's fine. Watch the videos, like the videos, subscribe, and that would be huge. But for those of you that can, we would really appreciate it if you supported our ministry and helped us to do more things. All of this goes towards our studio. It goes towards making these videos. And if you want to see more Christian content that's quality, that's good, that's actually speaking about the truth, then what do you do except for support it? And if you don't want to do that and you'd rather just give us a one-time gift, you can do that during any of our live streams by clicking the little money sign next to the chat, or later on we will have a place where you can send a letter to us if you'd like to do that. And that would be a massive, massive help. I know that so many of you have been on this journey with us over the last year, and you've seen how things have transformed and how crazy our life has just changed. But man, I think God is just starting. I have so many ideas about what God wants to do with this channel, and man, I am so ready to see what he wants to do through us, to do through you. Imagine how many people we could reach if we all just come together and do this thing together. I can't wait to make more videos, to do more of this. There are so many things that I'm feeling as I'm leaving my friends and my family. A lot of me is sad, but there's a part of me that is so ready and so excited. So let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I would love some encouragement from you. I'm a words of affirmation guy. That would really help me out through this time. But thank you so much. Those of you that have been around and have been watching and have been commenting and encouraging and just enjoying the videos. I truly, truly cannot ask for more than that. So thank you so much. So yeah, I'm leaving the church, at least this church. I can't wait to see what we do together in this ministry. I wanted to take this time to just thank all of our legendary patrons. You guys are so amazing. Sandy Frankenstein, Lois, Andrew, Gina, Camilla, Peg, Zachary, Beanie Leedy, Timothy, Barbara, Carlene, Kelly, Marie, Jasmine, Suzette, and Sue. You guys are just above and beyond. God bless you.